So we have Jim Kirchherr, we have Brooke Butler, and Ruth Ezell. They are the producers of Living St. Louis. Only one missing is Anne-Marie Berger. Shout out to Anne-Marie. Let's say hi to her. But yeah, so I want to talk to you guys all about 314 Day, this huge celebration. Tell me a little bit about what 314 Day means to you personally.
Yeah, you know, it's about time, I would say. I've lived here since 1978. I'm going to do something. Please don't say, oh, Kirchherr, don't do this. I'm going to read you a quote from 1890s from Theodore Dreiser.
Oh, no.
Okay? It is so neat. I've used this quote before. When I read it, now Dreiser, of course, became a famous author, was a newspaper man here in St. Louis. And he's from Chicago. He's from Indiana originally. And here's what he said about St. Louis in the 1890s. He said, I learned in time to like it very much, but for the things that set it apart from other cities, not for the things by which it sought to rival them. I think that's a really good way to look at this city. This is my adopted home, and I like it for that reason. It's not because I compare it to other places, but for all the great things it has itself.
Oh, solid answer.
How am I going to top that? How am I going to top that? Well, I will say I have to admit I do not have a 314 area code phone number. I'm a 573. We're all transplants, actually. Yeah. Yep. But St. Louis is home. There's no one loves St. Louis like St. Louis.
That's
and I
so
felt that
true.
Immediately when I moved here a decade ago, right? And that's why I stay. So that's 314.
I love that.
Yeah, this is my adopted home, too. I've actually lived here longer than in my hometown of Detroit. I have been here, I moved here in 1992.
Wow.
So I've been here a while.
Well, we're super proud to claim all of you as our own. It's just like you were born here.
And you know, 314 area code, I was actually thrilled to be able to change. When I got my new cell phone, I deliberately changed my area code to 314 because I thought, it's Pi. That's so cool. So I'm really proud.
I love that. And that's something that we were talking about earlier off camera is the 314 area code is such a sense of pride. You know, I don't know what I'll do if that ever changes. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Well, my next question for you is, you know, obviously 314 Day, all about St. Louis love. What are some of your favorite stories that you've done that have showcased St. Louis?
Who wants to start?
I'll go to my all-time favorite.
Ooh.
It's when I climbed the clock tower of Union Station.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah. I kept driving by as everybody does, and at some point I thought, hey, I work at Channel 9. I'm on Living St. Louis. Maybe they'll let me climb. And they did. I had to sign a waiver, but it was just the sort of thing, and I think that's always representative of the things you wonder about or the things you drive by and you don't think about, and we get to do, and we get to tell those stories, and we explore. Sometimes it's places, very often it's people that we explore.
Yeah.
Great.
No, and I think that's some of the best stories that we've been able to tell are people and things that we just stumble upon, and we have this platform to share. I think one of my favorite stories was the Red and Black Brass Band. Ooh. If you've ever had the chance to see it, I mean, it's just, the joy is contagious.
That was such a great pandemic story.
Exactly. It was at the start of the pandemic, and just a group of guys wanted to spread some joy in a time when we needed it most. So that's one of my favorite stories.
And of course, asking us about our favorite stories is like, who's your favorite child?
I know.
It
I'm
really
sorry.
is.
I felt bad as I wrote it down.
You know, some people have a favorite child, though, so.
That's true. My favorite child is a guy named Royce Martin. I've actually done 2 stories on him.
That's right.
When he first won the Teen Talent competition, and he was trying to get his money together to go to the Berklee College of Music. And so he managed, with the help of the community and some angel investors. And then I just recently interviewed him. He's graduated, degree in film scoring. He did professional work while he was still in college.
That's
so,
amazing.
I mean, he is LA bound. He's going to be a star, and I hope to do a 3rd story, maybe a Facebook Live, from the watch party when he's nominated for a Grammy.
Ooh,
I want that trifecta.
There you go.
Yeah.
That trilogy right there.
You know, what's great about that story, and a lot of the stories we've done about people who are successful, is the support they got here at home. And they appreciate that. And, you know, this is a city like any place. If you're successful, you shouldn't have to leave when you're successful. But if you do, a lot of those folks look back and say, this is where it started, not just because of me but because of all the people that helped me along the way. Now, maybe you find that in a lot of communities, but those are the stories I love to see about Royce Martin and some of the others that we've done. Antonio Douthat, we did a story on many years ago. Same thing, and came back, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm sure some of you out there are thinking right now, shouting at your TV some of your favorite LSL stories, I think that's great. So Living St. Louis has been on 20 years, which is a huge, huge triumph, right? So what about the 20th season is different? What about the 20th season? What can we look forward to? How are you going to kick off your next era?
Well, we're here. We used to be outside all the time. We moved inside, so you'll see some of these backgrounds here. So we're a studio show now. And one of the reasons we wanted to do that was we wanted to interview more people. You can interview people out in the field, and it takes some time and some effort. It takes time and effort to do it here. But we wanted to be able to bring folks in that we could talk to. So since we've started in this new season, Vivian Gibson came on, who wrote the Last Children of Mill Creek. Several other people, of course, they're all slipping my mind now. But that's our opportunity. That's one of the reasons we moved inside.
Yeah, and I'll say, aside from bringing it into the studio and being a little bit more relevant in the times, because we have some more flexibility. Our social media platforms have really taken off recently. Veronica Mohesky, sorry, she's over there behind the pole. You can't see her but she's running the Facebook Live right now. She's you probably recognize her on our TikTok channel. So I think just bringing Living St. Louis into all the platforms is a huge benefit.
Hashtag Living St. Louis.
There you go.
And all I have to say is the energy. I think the energy that we bring when we put our shows together now, it's on a whole new level, because we would work independently and then put our stories together, and now you can feel the synergy, I think.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Oh, it's incredible. It's thriving, for sure.
Yeah, I want to say one of the things about the social media stuff that we're doing, the new platforms, is we've been doing stories for a long time. There's a new generation of people out there who haven't seen these stories. They don't know the story of Theodore Dreiser or whomever, or the Red and Blast. Say it for me.
Red and Black Brass Band.
That's why we don't do it again, because I can't say it. So it's really been a great opportunity for us to sort of dig back into the archives, tell these stories again to a new audience that's just as interested as people were 20 years ago. I don't think we give that audience enough credit that they're just as interested. We just have to get the stuff to them, and we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on the theme of civic pride, it builds in the next generation, makes people want to stay around St. Louis longer, I hope.
Yeah, it really does. Well, thank you so much to our producers of Living St. Louis, Jim Kirchherr, Brooke Butler, and Ruth Ezell. Everybody give them a round of applause for making this Living St. Louis magic happen. Yeah. And thank you so much for sharing those stories.